And when you're on Bandcamp, are they free or are they $1 each?
We put name your price. So
name your price.
000.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and then also, so if they pay to does it still get split to you? Do you still get royalties?
We get most of it for the most part.
Oh, I mean, yeah, well,
80-90% of it.
Yeah, because that's Bandcamp.
Yeah,
because iTunes
awesome.
is go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, fuck iTunes, fuck Apple, fuck all y'all. I mean, iPhone.
I love you, iTunes. You have my podcast.
Right
I have my podcast on your iTunes feed.
I like his,
but it's free. So
yeah, it's free.
That's free. So
No, but yeah.
I want to take a pause from your story right here because we'll definitely continue from here. But I want to ask you on the state of music in general. Mm-hmm. Is metal dead? Is hardcore rock dead?
No, hell no. It's
then
back.
How come? Really? Because how come whenever I put on like 102.1, it's like it's got like some fucking pop shit.
That's because you're putting on 102.1. It's where I mean, yeah, it fucking sucks.
102.1 used to play System of a Down. I used to play Metallica, and now it plays like some fucking like Royals, you know?
Yeah.
Like
the radio sucks and mainstream music is awful.
But see, here's the thing: I love mainstream music because that's
the
how
only
I get
mainstream
my shit.
artists.
That's how I get my stuff.
Nah, dude, the only mainstream artist who is the best. The only person
bands
I love,
like Metallica and System of a Down to be mainstream.
They are mainstream.
But mainstream in a good way.
Okay.
Like
the thing is, Metallica is not good. Well, they're not good anymore. It's not that they're not good anymore because Death Magnetic was great. The only thing is like they don't know how to. They don't know what sound they want. But I don't.
Like
I don't want to get into that.
Like I want it to be like, you know, where I'm like listening to like, you know, Slipknot or something like that. It's like.
I mean,
where
that's
like
why there's satellite radio.
Like the early 2000s days where
that's why there's satellite radio, and that's why there's Spotify and your iTunes and whatever you want to listen to and aux cords. That's why, like, I don't.
Okay, so you're saying that I have to get it, but I have to go like niche and indie.
Yeah,
that's where it's at.
Like, the thing is, like,
because I don't want to.
The beauty of like what I listen to and the music I listen to is that like I don't have to really put any effort to like find it or like
it just
listen
finds
to
you.
It. Yeah,
pretty much.
Sure.
Okay.
No, but like to me, like you said, is hardcore, is metal and stuff like that dead? No, it's bigger than ever. The thing is, it's huge in the underground, and that's like because I was recently part of the hardcore scene in DFW, which is probably the biggest scene of like metal and hardcore and punk in the world,
Huh.
Other than like maybe Pennsylvania.
So when I want to go to country, I go to Nashville.
Yeah,
then
go over there. Yeah.
And then if I want to go to some other genre, I go to some other city.
Yeah.
If I want to go to like hip hop, I go to Houston or something like that.
Yeah, I was in a band called we were called Forge, and this was a year ago. Like we played our last show, maybe almost a year ago to this date. To this like this, I think we stopped like last year. Yeah. No, we stopped like during.
Okay, wait. This leads me to another question. How many bands have you been a part of in total?
All right, Lost Monday. That's middle school first band.
Mm-hmm.
Defying Gravity. Second band. And then Cytosin, which was the one where we released Bite the Bullet, which is that song like when I was in the 7th or 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
After that, this band called Rationalist. We were just like a really metalcore, post-hardcore band. And after that was Chesapeake, which is where I met a lot of my best friends and probably has some of the best memories of my life is being in that band.
Okay.
That was Chesapeake, and that was a pop punk band. After that was my neighbor's band. They were called Light the Way. I did not like being in there because the thing is I was all right. So I was over here. I was in my back apartment. I was drumming. I was working my drums, and I was drumming with my headphones on. I was probably in there. It was a fucking hot ass summer day, and I don't have AC in my back apartment, so it was like 120 degrees in there, and I'm sweating my ass off. I'm drumming for like 2 hours, and I hear a knock on. Like I have my headphones on. They're like they're sound canceling, so I can't really hear a lot of stuff while the music's playing. But like right as the song ended, I hear like knocks at my door, and I think it's my mom or my dad. Take them off, go. And it's this guy I've never seen in my life.
Huh.
And apparently it was my neighbor from behind my house.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yo, man, we heard you drum. I heard you drumming. Like, are you in a band?" And this and that. I was was like, I'm in a pop punk band right now, but I mean, I've been playing metal all of my life, and I had my like double bass pedals, and I was killing it. I was like, it just sounded like, and I was like playing like hard ass songs and shit. I think I was playing some shit to, I think it was a band called Stick to Your Guns, and I was playing, I don't remember what song. I remember very, like, when it comes to music, I remember things really vividly.
Okay.
But I know for sure it's Stick to Your Guns. Anyway, he comes in and he's like, yo, our drummer like left, or like we don't have a drummer, and I'm like, fuck it, like, I don't care.
So were you in two bands at the same time?
Yeah.
Damn.
But it was pretty much already at the end of like Chesapeake, like that was already going. We were still a band. We just didn't play. We weren't practicing. We weren't
going to gigs.
Yeah, we weren't doing anything. But yeah, I was in that.
So that's 6.
Yeah.
And then what's 7?
I still want to continue on Light the Way really quick, just because that was this is different. Because it was almost like me kind of being forced into it. I definitely, like, trust me, like, people that I know, they're good friends of mine now. Like, they're still good friends of mine today. But it definitely exposed me to like a new side of, like, because what they were trying to do is like I meet him, immediately go to their band practice, meet the guys. I'm like, hey, I just met this dude. He wants me to drum for y'all. I'm gonna drum for y'all. So I get in there. I start hearing the songs, or no. He emails me all the recordings and all the songs. I learn them all in a night. Come back the next day, jam with them, have a good time. The thing is, they're really post-hardcore, which involves a lot of choreography, a lot of like fucking dancing, like hopping while you're playing guitar, and like a lot of choreographed head banging, and a lot of choreographed like.
Is it like Fall Out Boy whenever they do the spin?
No, it's worse. It's like, I'll show you.
Oh.
I'll show you what I mean later. But it's
in bed.
It's like crabcore
No,
and all this crap. It's like hard, like it's just scene. It's a lot of like kids that go to Hot Topic and that went to Hot Topic like at the peak of Hot Topic in like the 2009 the mall days.
No, I'd say 2006 was the peak of Hot Topic. Whatever.
Nah. Because that was like the peak, but I'm talking like, and then it died out, and then it rose again.
Oh, okay.
Back, you see like,
all right.
RAR means I love you in dinosaur days.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But anyway, they were, anyway, I played, the thing is like, I semi-enjoyed my time in there, but it exposed me to a new like, side of, of music, because I started playing like bigger shows, because this band was like really backed by, this big production company here in DFW called Third String, and they were like really backed by them. So I would play a lot of really big shows, like with bands I never thought I'd fucking play with.
Like who?
Well, the first big show, the first show I played with them was a music festival. It was South by Southwest.
Oh shit!
So
I know
what?
that.
Not Southwest. I played Southwest with another band. Okay. Southwest I've played like twice already, but and there were official showcases, which is the craziest part too.
Oh.
But. So it was like, it was awesome. But so what is also a big thing that we have here in DFW, and I luckily got to play it twice, and they were the 2 biggest years that they had there. The first year I played, it was my first show there, and we played the main stage, and it was just crazy because I was with a bunch of major bands. I played with fucking Metro Station.
Fuck, well,
it
was big. They were big
in
2008.
Big. Yeah, I played with them in
2009,
like 10,
okay.
11.
Okay, so they were on the fading. They were fading out, but they were still. 2008 was Shake It.
No. Okay. So
But yeah, continue.
No, but I played with them in 2013.
Oh,
13. They were back. They were starting to come.
No,
yeah. But anyway, I got to see them and they were like Miley Cyrus's brothers, like right there, like what the fuck, which is crazy.
And so you had an all access backstage pass,
all
right?
the laminates and stuff. And that was the first time.
Did you feel like a baller?
I felt like a fucking badass. I took so many people with me backstage, and it was the fucking coolest thing. I had like all these friends with me. I mean, they weren't allowed to be there, but I was just like, yeah, I'm fucking cool. I'd walk around, because I would get there at 4 a.m, load up all my shit, be there all fucking day, no sleep. But it was fun, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, exposed me to all these kind of like these new sides of like how it works. I was like, man, so this is what it feels like to be like a baller.
It's the quote is, "This is what baller feels like."
Yeah. So I'd be like, at the side of the stage watching these bands play. A guy named G-Eazy, who's like a huge rapper right now, huge, like enormously huge. 2 years ago, he played that same first South by So What that I played. He had like 200 people in the audience. Right now, he sells at fucking $7,000, $8,000. $8 people like cap places.
Yeah.
And like I'm just like, dude, like I still have like I literally called my friend Rachel on the phone, and I gave the phone to Jeezy. I was like, hey man, G, I just called him G. I didn't know his fucking real name. I was like, hey, can you talk to my friend? He's like, yeah, cool guy. I never thought he'd be this big. And it's just like crazy, like what happens, and like I said, it exposed me a lot of like that stuff, and then I got to play with these bands, like these metal bands that are big, and they're still pretty big. It was called, I think one of them was called For Today, Upon a Burning Body, and I don't know if you've heard of a band called Dance Gavin Dance, but they're very, very popular, and they still are to this day, and I got to play with them, which was really crazy. I'm just like, fuck, like I never played a show that was less than 1,000 people with that band. Never played a show with less than 1,000. South by So What, the biggest crowd, like, because it's a festival, but at one point there had to be at least like 3,000 people in the crowd. Yeah, at least. And I was
is this the same? Is this the? I guess I'll make a mental note here. I don't have my notes. I don't have my notepads over there, but I gotta keep a mental note of the timestamp because this might be for editing.
It's right there.
This might be for editing purposes. I'm about to ask you the question, and I don't know if you wanted to incriminate yourself.
Let me finish. I was gonna stop with Light the Way and go to my next band.
Okay, go. You know what? I'll just table that. I'll table my question. Continue.
Okay. Yeah, and then Light the Way. What was after that? I feel like I was in something that I can't remember. I was in Light the Way.
That was your sixth one. Okay.
And I feel like I started. We tried getting Chesapeake back together. We tried. It didn't really work out. We just I didn't want to play pop punk anymore. No one really else did.
Has the thought ever occurred to you of taking remnants of all these bands and fusing them into one band?
Maybe.
Like a Velvet Revolver type thing.
Velvet Revolver sucks too, man.
but you know what I'm. That's the concept.
But I know what you mean. The concept, yeah.
The concept of that, yeah.
Like a super project. I don't know. Yeah. But
that was, and by the way, that reference, I don't even know how many people would get the Velvet Revolver reference. I don't even know if they were like big for 1 year, and then that was it, and then they just
apparently Guns N' Roses is getting back together for Coachella, like original lineup.
Oh shit,
it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. Like that's something to see.
Okay.
So, but yeah. Anyway,
all right, continue.
I think we tried doing that, and then I started kind of like jamming again with Scott, who's been my best friend for the longest time. We were in so many bands together: Chesapeake, Cytosin, Lost Monday, all those original bands. But anyway, we started. It was just. I mean, this is my most recent band that I'm not in anymore, and I don't even think it's a band anymore either because it kind of like dropped off when I got kicked out. But we'll get to that. But we were called Desert Museum.
Desert Museum, which I actually, if you watch, I plugged in the Let's Play. I don't know which Let's Play it was. It might have been the Mega Man 2 Let's Play, where I had the Bandcamp link in the description. I had it on the screen, and I actually listened to a couple of the tracks actually because you put it out there, and I was like, and they had a lot of potential in that one. I was gonna say they had a lot of good ideas. Let's put it that way.
That was definitely the number one band as in talent. Songwriting, every element,
music writing,
every element it brought out the best in all of us in that band. Like I've never like been around, like we've never like wrote shit to that potential. Like I think even the songs that we have out now, like I feel like if someone ends up picking it up in like 5 years and not knowing who this band is or what they ever did, and like they're gonna jam to it, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, who the fuck is this band?" And then I feel like we're slowly gonna kind of like get a build up, because we were like, I mean,
you're gonna have like a Van Gogh kind of thing where you're like nobody knows when you're alive, but after
that would be cool. But like
you get a second life.
Said, that band was like ridiculous. I was like, it was last summer. I was going to Florida. I saw Lamberth, my other best friend that I was in that band with. He posted it. He's like, "Oh, I dropped this." Like him and Scott wrote. They did everything for that first EP. It was called Cassini. And
now Scott, I know Scott is your friend. Has Scott also been a part of the other bands you've mentioned?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. I'm making sure.
And Lambert too.
So y'all kind of sort of did.
No, us three have all been together. Us three have been together since we were 12 years old.
Okay. So y'all just kind of like interweave, kind of. Okay.
Yeah. And so we were doing that, and I hit Lambert up. It's like, "Hey, is this a band? Like, are y'all gonna do something?" He's like, "Yeah. We need a drummer." I was like, "I'm down." He's like, "All right," and that was the end of the conversation. Okay. So that's
how you join a band.
Yeah, that's that easy. And so I came back. We had rehearsals. I learned the songs off the first EP, and we played a show like a week or two later, and we started writing. And when writing, dude, we like so many good songs, like songs that I just love jamming to, and I don't know, man. I feel like this band, like you said, this is the most potential I ever had, like in a band. We released the first two songs that I recorded with them that we released on the Bandcamp, on the 2 song, because there's the EP, and then we released 2 new songs in like October of last year of 2015, and then the songs were called Something and Floored, and they're very very like complex and very like kind of like not complex, but they're just like flow really well, and they're very ambient. A lot of like, you know, noise and a lot. But I don't know. It's the thing is like the hardest thing when someone would ask us, "What kind of band are y'all? What music do y'all play?" I don't know.
There's no.
I don't know. It's
genre has yet to be invented.
It's like it was kind of like a shoegaze and like post rock kind of thing. Like it can sound like Smashing Pumpkins, or it can sound like My Bloody Valentine, or and it can sound like just a bunch of different things. And it's just like we couldn't. That was the hardest thing for us to do. But we were, we dropped those 2 tracks. I personally thought Something was in my top 5 songs that I've ever heard and wrote. Like I love this song. I still like listening to it today. And people were just like, "Yo, that song was good. Like that was a good fucking song."
Could you just imagine like a situation where you're you have your phone hooked up to your car stereo, like
I played it at TCC all the time.
listening to it, and then like somebody overhears it, and it's like, "Hey, who's that?" It's me.
Yeah, it's me.
Be like, "It's me." Like, damn, that's
and
pretty boss.
And those two tracks, I tracked drums in one take on both of them, which was we were just like, "Hey Joel, can you come in?" We expected to be there for a while recording because each of the songs were like 6-7 minutes long. So, we and which is a huge step for us. Back in the day, we'd write 3-minute songs. Now we're just writing and composing like long ass songs, especially because Scott went to a fine art school, became a way better musician, and able to compose really well. Which helped a lot.
I'm not gonna say that this is kind of like a very egregious thing, but could you like, if the band kind of stayed together, could you have imagined a point where y'all have like an 8-minute track that's kind of like Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody?
Nope. No.
Damn.
No, we're just not like that.
Okay, I just wanted y'all to like.
And it's not that I wouldn't.
I'm talking about like just talking about the layers and stuff. Talking about when the beats change and stuff like that.
No.
Bohemian Rhapsody level like production.
Absolutely, because we had some stuff like that too.
Damn.
We had there was a lot of good songs left on the table, and then so I went. We play. And then the thing is, we played a lot of shows, so then we had less time to write. So we,
And is the equipment still in the studio? Is in Desert Museum? Is your equipment still in their studio?
Oh no, I took when they kicked me out.
You took it.
I took that shit.
Okay.
The thing is, all right. So we played a lot of shows from October to the end of the year, into January, into the new year, and we played some. We played a lot of shows, and then we were writing. We finally got like a good little good piece of like amount of time. When I was off of school in December for the semester. In December, for the whole month, December and January,
and that's where the drama.
And that's where
that's not behind the music.
No, remastered. That's not where happened. That's when a lot of writing has started though. That's
I was gonna say because I remember that's in my timing of the events. That's when the behind the music shit happened, where you got kicked out of the band.
No.
That's how I remember it.
No, this all happened in February.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But so it's recent.
Recent.
But we wrote a lot of songs. I tracked the drums for these 2 new songs called "Screw" and one was called "Wound." And, those are great songs too. And, those are the day that they came out.
And when you're on Bandcamp, are they free or are they $1 each?
We put name your price. So
name your price.
000. So.
Okay. And then also, so if they pay to does it still get split to you? Do you still get royalties?
We get most of it for the most part. 80-90%.
Yeah, because that's Bandcamp. Because iTunes is go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, fuck iTunes. Fuck Apple. Fuck all y'all. iPhone.
I love you, iTunes. You have my podcast. I have my podcast on your iTunes feed.
I like his,
but it's free. So.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
So So and then some personal stuff happened with me and like my family to where I wasn't able to
continue on your endeavors.
My obligations to the band. And the thing is, like, even with my it was something personal to where I was just like, I'm still gonna play my music. I really didn't care.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll people.
Yep.
This is like I literally feel like I'm interviewing a behind the scenes kind of behind the music.
Honestly, it's not even personal. It's not even personal. I
don't want to get into it because I know it's personal, but I do wanted to ask. I
wouldn't even care like admitting it on your show because it's just bad. But I don't.
But I just wanted to ask you just in general, like between all the bands that you've been a part of, like. Did majority of those bands like end in like no go fuck you no fuck yourself kind of shit like
none of them except this one.
Drama. I was like
none of them. Well, this is the one.
This is only this one, but all the other 6 didn't.
Nah, man.
Damn, fuck.
Because the other ones we kind of just ended because we were like
parting ways.
Not even that. It's just because like we're like
growing apart.
Everybody just kind of like became a little busier, and we're just like, hey, you guys just don't like, we don't have time. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, okay.
But this one just kind of like, this one was more like of a kind of like a backstab.
Oh,
me.
yes.
So, you know, it's that all that shit happened. The thing is, I was like, even I told him, I was like, you know, I'm only gonna miss like, because I booked us a show, and then this whole shit happened, and I couldn't play the show. I was like, hey, you know, I'm just gonna miss this one show. I'll be back. I expect, you know, two of my best friends, you know, two of my best friends that I've known all my life, basically.
And they fucked you over.
And they both said, sorry. They basically said, we're getting a drummer. You're out.
Damn.
That's as simple as that. You're out. Sorry. And I was like, okay. I told him, I'm not paying rent at the studio anymore. I'm taking all my shit.
Take the equipment.
All right.
Leave them hanging out. Leave them hanging out to dry.
And
exactly.
so that happened, and they were just like, I told him, I was like, I thought you, I gave him like, I thought you guys like would at least understand, knowing, you know, how I, you know what's going on, like how the fuck, like, you know, they immediately did not, you know, hesitate to kick me out, and I was like, all right, and, you know, and so I kind of like didn't talk to them for a while, but I mean, for the most part, I've patched up things. It's not. It's a band. It's a band.
You're still. Are you still out of the band? You're just still cool with them? Or
no, yeah, I'm out of the band.
Okay, but
you're
you still keep your friendship with these guys that you know and all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I can't do that. I can't. It's a band. Like, I'm not gonna let that get in the way of my friendship.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, once I was out, I mean, I was pissed. I mean, it's just like I would expect to be pissed, just because like that was a huge part of like I was like
you were in it to win.
Yeah, and I was really like.
Yeah.
At the time that all that shit happened, I was in a really bad place, and you remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like going through a bunch of shit, like the personal matter. I got dumped by my girlfriend. I was fucking broke.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, like my only escape to that shit was going to my studio every day and record, getting the track and the write. And next thing you know, my two best friends kicked me the fuck out of my band. Like
to add
to the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like fuck, like you know, I the one escape that I had is like. I don't have it anymore. And I was just like, man, this really, you know, it sucks. But at the same time, I was like, okay, that's probably the main thing that got me really like, you know, like, I can't believe they're doing this. Like, shit. Like, this is ridiculous. But, you know, I let that, you know, I didn't talk to them for a month and a half. I just recently got back from Austin with Lamberth, who this is really the first time I've hung out with him since I left the band. And I've known him almost all my life. So I didn't. It was a good time. Like me and him, like it's like I never got kicked out of the band. It's like almost like we were never in a band like that. Like it never happened, which I liked. And right now I know Scott's being a little baby with everybody else. So like I doubt he watches this. But Scott's being like Desert Museum basically isn't a band anymore. And I called from the moment I left. I told my friend Ryan, who's the bassist in my band. He was, you know, mad that they kicked me out. He didn't have basically any idea, but whatever they say goes. Basically, whatever Lamberth and Scott says goes.
Okay.
So
he didn't have a vote, but he was part of the band, but he didn't vote.
He didn't have a vote, basically. Okay. So he was just like pissed about it. He was just like, you know, if you need anything, just let me know. But you know, what was I saying? Fuck. So I got out of the band, and I called. I said, I'm out. I said, now that I'm out, I told Ryan, I was like, you guys aren't gonna go anywhere. You guys aren't gonna do anything. I told him, I was like, from like here, you guys aren't gonna make progress. And I hate to say that, but
it's true.
Without me, I kind of kept everyone in check.
And you booked a lot of shows too.
Yeah, I think we all collectively did that.
Oh, okay.
But
you did. But yeah,
we all, like I said, like,
yeah.
But
yeah,
I kept like to where like, Scott liked to do his own thing. Lamberth liked to do his own thing. But you know.
But you had to make sure that the circus was ringed in, though.
And I was like, once it was over, once I was out, Desert Museum was over. Everybody knew that.
They fizzled out.
I knew it was over. And they got a new drummer. That didn't work out. So, you know, and then Scott, like, recently was talking about, you know, like, I quit the band. I'm not paying rent at the studio anymore. Fuck you guys. So
that studio that's right over there, it's like, no, you don't have the keys to it anymore?
I have the keys.
Oh shit.
I still have the keys.
Damn.
I can use
Baller.
that. I have the keys, and I told him I don't have the keys.
Oh, you told him. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Right.
I'm gonna get my own room there soon with my friend Zeke. So